Hello, guys. I am back in your face.
Open up, you open up.
What's up, girls? What's up, everybody? So, welcome back. I decided I'm gonna do it here. Don't mind the little bag in the background. This is not a makeup video. This is just like a catch up, what's going on video type of shenanigans going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So where can we start from? Okay, so I've sort of like cleared out the way so you can't see whatever is there. So what is the tea right now? So the tea is your girl can finally go outside. That is the biggest update ever. I can finally leave my room. Like, I can leave my room, guys. It is the most amazing thing ever to realize you can actually walk outside. Like, I don't think we appreciated outside enough. Like, I can see the sky outside rather than from my room. Like, I can actually step outside and go look at the freaking sunlight. Like, whoo! What? So yeah, that's one of the big updates. Second update is I have started working. Whoo, girl. Teaching isn't easy. No job actually is easy, let's just be very honest, but it's quite hard because I'm in a country where English is not their first language. English is not even my first language, but you know, colonization and shit. Let's leave that out of the room. Let's not start that topic because we're never gonna stop. Okay, so English is my first language. Let's just go from there. But it is hard here because my co-teachers, like all the people I work with, are not English speakers. So I think that's one of the hardest things. Like, some do speak English, but it's still very limited compared to mine because I'm native speaker. So I think that's the second thing. Like, it's quite hard in that aspect, but I am loving it because they're super nice so far. They've all been so nice, so helpful, you know, which is incredible. Like, no, it is incredible to have helpful people you work with. Like, two things make or break a job: either you actually like the job, or you don't like the job, but the people you work with are super nice. Now, if the people you work with are assholes, you are gonna hate yourself. One, you don't like the job, and two, you've got asshole colleagues. Nah, girl, boy, quit it. But they are super nice, and I actually like the job, so I think I'm getting the best of both worlds so far. It's only been like a couple of days. Like, literally, I've only been able to step out for like 3 days now. But it's been so good so far. Thirdly, whew, they really look at you here. Like, one thing I can say about South Korea, so far, they are advanced, not in mentality, but in technology, in the equipment, in everything else. When it comes to their thinking, they're very, very backwards and closed-minded. And you cannot blame them, but you also can. You can blame them because you're so advanced. You've got internet. Like, you have, if not the most fastest internet in the whole world. You know, in the whole world, you're the top 5 of the fastest internet. Let's not call you the fastest, but you are amongst the top 5, top 3 even, and you still don't know black people. I'm sorry, what? Like, one thing I love about black people is despite the fact that we're all scared, like we're scared to actually, we're not scared, but like we're very tentative when it comes to wanting to break out into that space. We take our time, but when we do break out into that space, we go full on. So one thing I note about black people is we are, we are very careful when it comes to wanting to do things, but when we do it, and we then let other people know so that they too can come. So one thing I do know is, in mainland South Korea, because we need to take a chance to think that I'm on an island, but in mainland, they are definitely foreigners and they're definitely black people. I was shocked when I got here and I realized that in just like a very tiny space of where I live, there's like 5 black people. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's tiny, but trust me, it's big for like the island and that small space that I'm in. So it's like my radius, like a kilometer away from where I live, there's at least 5 black people. And let's just talk about even the other Asians like Indians and Pakistans and Bangladesh people that are also here. You can see color. But the fact that you find that such a shocking thing, and I don't want to say let's blame you, but you've got internet. You can just Google us. But no, you don't want to. So it's also that. But I also don't want to blame South Koreans, because they've gone through so many invasions over the last couple of 100 years or so, from China to Japan and all those invasions to America as well. So I do get that, that little inbuilt fear to want to be with all these foreigners and stuff. And also with the coronavirus, now in South Korea, there's not a lot of cases developing from inside. It's all the cases are actually now coming from people who are still traveling. So there's almost like a divide here, which is let's close the borders so that no one can travel in. But there's also that thing of, but politics, we kind of need them. We kind of need the economy to boom, so we kind of need them to actually come here. That kind of thing as well. So it's almost like, but they're the ones causing it. They're the ones now causing it. They're the ones who brought it here. And with China also bringing it here, all foreigners. So even if you're Chinese or even Japanese, you're a foreigner. They don't care. Sorry for the close-up, but no, they don't care. You're a foreigner. It don't matter. You're just a foreigner. So yeah. So I think there's also that, but I'm sorry. I really don't want to say I really don't want to blame you, but you gotta think about it. You've got really good internet. Your actors and actresses are wanting, and your idols, your singers like BTS and the movie Parasite, you're all wanting to go all international, but yet you don't want to consider the internationals that come here. It's a bit, you want everybody else to accept you. You want the mainstream Grammys and music, all these music awards shows, the Brits, all of them to acknowledge your musical presence. And you want the Academy, the Globes, Cannes, Toronto Music Festival. You want all of this to accept your movies, but you also don't want to go out. You don't also want to accept the foreigners. It doesn't make sense. You can't have with you one way, accept us, but you also, and you also don't want to accept them. You can't have your own. You've got to just do both. You want them to accept you, but you also got to let them come in. Acceptance out there, let them come in. So one thing I can say so far is, y'all gotta step up your game. Start watching as much black shows or something. I don't know. But do you know what? They're getting there, and you know what? Acceptance come. It's a long process to get acceptance. Like, it's a long process to get acceptance. You know, so I'm not gonna lie to. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, by tomorrow you should accept black people." Nah, that's not gonna happen. It's probably gonna take them another. It's probably gonna take South Korea another 10 years to accept blacks, to accept foreigners, as they are calling us. Whew. So yeah, so that's the third thing. The fourth, is there a fourth? I don't think there's a fourth. Nope, I don't think there's a fourth. I think the majority of the, oh no, there is, yeah, the fourth sort of this the fourth sort of comes down into boils down from the third one, which is the whole black thing, like accepting black people. How can I go to a club, okay, and you're like, no, 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 like how does that work? It really doesn't work at all. So I don't know. But I took offense to it when it happened, but I just feel like when it's a much closed place, it's a lot harder for them to actually see the mainstream. But they've actually done so far so well. So like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I don't get looked at as much. Like, they do look at me. Oh, let's not deny that they do look at me. They're like, I think what shocks them is because I wear masks a lot. So whenever I wear my mask, and then one thing I've noticed is I've got quite small eyes. So I think when they see me at first, they're like, oh, okay. But then they then look again like, wait, she's a bit darker than normal. Ah, she's a black person. And so this is what tends to happen. So they'll look at me, look away, and then look at me and be like, oh, I thought she, oh, she's black. So that's what tends to happen. They have to do a double take. Like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Like, it's a black person, which is cute. I haven't had the experience that some other black people have with people taking pictures of them, like, oh, you're a black person, or. I haven't had that, so I'm kind of happy. And I think it's not. I have actually had it, but I just haven't noticed. But I don't really like mind. Like, I won't lie to you. I'm an attention seeker. So I don't really mind. Look at me all you want, honey. Make me feel like a celebrity and all that. I don't care. I don't mind. Like, you wanna look at me? Go ahead. Should I pose this way? Should I? Oh. I really don't mind. So yeah, that is just a little quick update into me. I'm gonna let you know what products I've used on my face. Not that I've used anything. It's just foundation and eyebrows and lips. So yeah. I think that's about it, really. There's not much that's happened. It's just been my first week. So this is my first week in South Korea. Probably my next upload will be different. But that's a quick update from me. So what can you do for me? If you can like my video and subscribe to my channel, that would be very helpful. Just letting you know. Subscribe, click that subscribe button right down there, and comment. I want to know what you think and what I can do next that's different. Let me know. Well then, it's a bye from me.